Over 2 million Cameroonians are displaced, and the world isn't watching. This powerful documentary exposes one of Africa's most underreported crises, the mass displacement in Cameroon caused by separatist conflict, terrorism, and ethnic violence, while international aid funding dries up. We explore the origin of Cameroon, the evolution of its political landscape, the causes behind today's humanitarian emergency, and why global attention has disappeared, despite worsening conditions. What you'll learn: how colonial history created deep divides in Cameroon. Why the Anglophone crisis and Boko Haram insurgency are forcing people to flee. How previous crises were managed, compared to today. Why global aid is declining in 2025. What happens when the world turns away from less visible suffering. How this crisis can still be addressed, with will, funding, and attention. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell, because what is happening in Cameroon is unbelievable. In the heart of Central Africa lies a nation of resilience and complexity, Cameroon. Known for its lush terrain and diverse people, it is often called Africa in miniature. But behind this beauty, hundreds of thousands of Cameroonians are fleeing their homes, caught between violence, poverty, and abandonment. And worse still, the world has stopped watching. Cameroon's story begins with colonization. In the 19th century, it was divided between Germany, Britain, and France. After World War I, Britain and France took control under League of Nations mandates. In 1961, French Cameroon gained independence, while part of British Cameroon joined it to form a united nation, though tensions were baked into the borders. Since then, Cameroon has been ruled mostly under centralized, often authoritarian regimes, most notably by President Paul Biya, who has held power since 1982. Today, over 2 million Cameroonians are internally displaced. What's driving them out? Key causes: Anglophone crisis, 2016 present. English-speaking regions in the northwest and southwest have demanded greater autonomy. The government's harsh crackdown escalated into a bloody conflict with separatist militias. Boko Haram insurgency in the far north region. Spillover violence from northeastern Nigeria has devastated towns and rural communities. Cross-border violence and herder-farmer conflicts, ethnic clashes in the east and north have forced families to flee repeatedly. Nowhere we are safe anymore. Villages are burned. Now some people sleep under trees. Yes. Cameroon has faced instability in the past, economic downturns, political uprisings, even refugee influxes from neighboring countries like Chad and the Central African Republic. But most crises were contained through regional diplomacy, UN peacekeeping, and internal resettlement. Today, however, the complexity of overlapping conflicts, media fatigue, and weak state response make resolution far more elusive. In the past, the world responded. But in 2025, global humanitarian funding has declined sharply. Why? Reasons for aid decline are due to global donor fatigue, with crises in Ukraine, Gaza, Sudan, and climate disasters. Cameroon slips off the radar. US funding pauses. In early 2025, several American and European agencies cut or froze aid due to budget constraints and prioritization elsewhere. Perception of low visibility. Cameroon lacks geopolitical attention or high media engagement. Now parents are being forced to choose which children eat, and which gets to starve. This is not aid strategy but triage. With aid declining and the crisis expanding, the human cost is staggering and the impacts are as follows. Malnutrition in children has doubled in some regions. Schools and clinics are overwhelmed or abandoned. Gender-based violence and child recruitment by armed groups are on the rise. Whole generations are growing up stateless, rootless, and traumatized. It's not too late. Cameroon's crisis can be addressed, but only if it's acknowledged. We have solutions, and they are to renew global aid and pressure major donors to fund regional agencies. Invest in local peace building and dialogue between Anglophone groups and the government. Support internally displaced people, IDPs, with housing, education, and trauma care. Protect journalists and civil society, so the truth can't be buried. Remember, we do not ask the world to save us. All we ask is that the world see us, and stand with us. The people of Cameroon are resilient. But resilience is not infinite. No human being should be forgotten, not by borders, not by aid, not by silence. Displacement is not a trend. It is a tragedy. Visibility is the first step toward justice. Thank you for watching. If this inspired or informed you, please hit the like button, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Let the world see Cameroon and stand by her.